Remember this WWE star? Wait till you see her now. The biggest wrestlers from back in the day. If you've always been a WWE fan, you know that the stars come and go regularly. Some retire to focus on their acting careers and other projects, and others quit when they get too old to get into the ring. There are also WWE stars who retire after a serious injury that prevented them from getting back into the ring. If you wonder what happened to your favorite WWE stars after leaving the ring, you're in for a treat. You're about to learn what happened to the biggest wrestling stars from back in the day and where they are now. Triple H. Paul Levesque became a WWE superstar in the mid-90s under the name Hunter Hearst Helmsley, also known as Triple H. He started his wrestling career in Greenwich, Connecticut, and moved his way up and became one of the most influential figures in the WWE. When Triple H married Vince McMahon's daughter, Stephanie, he became the executive vice president of talent, live events, and creative. Today, he's often on live events to add drama and help move storylines along. Triple H's hair may be much shorter, but he's still as talented as ever. The Great Khali. When the Great Khali made his WWE debut in the early 2000s, everyone believed he'd become one of the most powerful wrestlers in the organization. He stands at 7'1", and his real name is Dalip Singh Rana. Before leaving his home in India, the WWE superstar worked as a police officer and was an opposing figure during his early years in wrestling. Dallas stepped away from the ring and starred in Adam Sandler's movie The Longest Yard. He also offered support to wrestlers such as Jinder Mahal. The former WWE star has been married to Harminder Kaur since 2002, and they have one child. Bret Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart was part of a successful tag team with Jim the Anvil Neidhart and was one of the biggest WWE stars in the 90s. Sadly, his time with the WWE ended after the infamous incident known as the Montreal Screwjob, and Vince McMahon cheated him out of the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Bret stayed far away from the ring since then and has dealt with several health problems over the last 2 decades. He had a stroke in 2002, which he recovered from, and he beat prostate cancer in 2016. The Big Show. The Big Show, born Paul White II, carried on the legacy of Andre the Giant by becoming the large, towering WWE superstar they desperately needed at the time. Although Paul had a poor record at WrestleMania, he won the WWE Championship twice, along with several other belts. After leaving the ring for good, Paul starred in his own sitcom on Netflix called The Big Show Show. The Ultimate Warrior. James Bryan Hellwig was known as the Ultimate Warrior in the ring and was one of the best in the WWE during his time. His wrestling career was brief yet successful, and he made a name for himself by headlining the biggest events. A day after his final WWE appearance, James passed away. The WWE began honoring him in 2015 and still does so with the Warrior Award presented yearly at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. The award is named after the Ultimate Warrior, whose legacy continues to live on. Sunny. Tammy Lynn Sitch was known as Sunny in the ring and has had a rocky career in the last 20 years. The WWE diva rose to fame in the 90s. Due to her substance abuse issues, Sunny was forced to take a step back from the limelight and has struggled to get her career back on track. She was arrested in 2017, and the WWE terminated her contract immediately. Her most recent arrest landed the former diva in jail for a year, and she was released on February 25, 2020. It was hard to watch Sunny's star fall. We can only hope she learned her lesson and can move on. Chyna. Chyna, born Joan Marie Lauer, was a history-making wrestler and helped pave the way for other women wrestlers. She was very popular in the late 90s and was the first woman to compete in the King of the Ring and the Royal Rumble. Chyna was very tough and managed to hold her own against male wrestlers. Chyna pursued writing after retiring from the ring, but her substance abuse issues caused problems in her life. She released a sex tape after retiring, and many believe drug use affected her ability to make good decisions. Sadly, the WWE superstar died in 2016 of an accidental overdose. Stacy Keibler. Remember this WWE star? Wait till you see her now. Stacy Keibler was one of the most popular WWE divas during her time in the ring. She was famous for her long legs and attitude and quickly became a fan favorite. Since leaving the ring, Stacy has appeared on many TV shows, such as the 100th episode of How I Met Your Mother and What About Brian? She also hosted the show Supermarket Superstar. Stacy married former WWE star Jared Pobra in 2014, and the couple shares a child. Stacy managed to create a successful career for herself after leaving the WWE, and she's as gorgeous as ever. Vince McMahon. Vince inherited the WWE from his father and hid the fact that he was the CEO for a while and appeared as a commentator. By the time the Attitude Era came, Vince had a fully formed in-ring personality and tried to compete. Vince won the Royal Rumble in 1999 and has been involved in some of the craziest storylines in WWE history. Vince was one of the most popular and wealthiest figures in sports entertainment, but everything fell apart thanks to the scandals that became public in 2022. The problem started with cheating allegations, and allegations that he paid 4 women to keep quiet about the CEO's infidelity, and allegations of sexual harassment. Things got worse when the world discovered that he made $20 million in unrecorded payments to his accusers and Donald Trump's now disbanded foundation. Scandals weren't good for the WWE, so Vince stepped down as CEO of WWE and retired at the age of 77. Most people were shocked that scandals brought down the most popular man in sports entertainment. Stone Cold Steve Austin. No wrestler had a more significant impact on the WWE than Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Texas Rattlesnake made his wrestling debut in the mid-90s, and his carefree attitude quickly made him the most popular wrestler on the roster. Sadly, injuries often kept Steve on the sidelines, and eventually the WWE superstar had to retire. Steve's made a name for himself outside the ring, starring in several movies, such as The Expendables. He also has his own podcast called The Steve Austin Show. Stone Cold proves it's possible to have a successful career after the WWE. The Rock. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is another wrestler who reached unprecedented levels of fame and was one of the key figures during the Attitude Era. It wasn't long before his over-the-top personality and one-liners made him the people's champion. When Dwayne branched out and started acting, he was an instant success, and no longer had time to balance his wrestling and acting careers, so he left the ring for good. Since then, Dwayne has been one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors and has starred in many films, such as the Fast and the Furious franchise, Central Intelligence, Red Notice, and Walking Tall. Although Dwayne is a successful actor, he'll never forget how the WWE helped him get where he is today. Edge. Edge is a WWE star who can't stay away from the ring. He's a huge fan favorite and has won many titles, including the Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, and he won the WWE Championship. Sadly, an injury kept Edge out of the ring and the wrestling world for nearly 10 years, and he made a stunning and emotional comeback in 2020. Edge won the 2022 Royal Rumble shortly after his return, and later defeated Randy Orton in a last man standing match at WrestleMania 36. Edge is proof that for some superstars, wrestling's in their blood. Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus managed to work her way up in the WWE organization. She started her career as a valet for Test and Prince Albert and went on to become one of the most successful female WWE stars in history. Trish was the youngest WWE star to be inducted into its Hall of Fame and proved herself in and outside the ring. After retiring from the WWE, Trish appeared on many TV shows and is a fitness model. She's also been running her own yoga studio since 2008. X-Pac. X-Pac, born Sean Waltman, had an incredible career with the WWE. In his early years, the wrestler was known as the 1-2-3 Kid and was nimble and agile. Despite X-Pac's lightweight, he still won many matches in the ring, and his career went to the next level when he became part of DX. In recent years, X-Pac experienced personal heartache, but has since bounced back and makes regular guest appearances on WWE shows. Owen Hart. The late Owen Hart is a wrestling legend. At WrestleMania 10, Owen gave his brother Bret Hart a run for his money when he defeated him in his first match. This was the first of many big wins, and a few months later the wrestling legend beat Tatanka, Doink the Clown, the 1-2-3 Kid, and Razor Ramon, and was crowned King of the Ring. Sadly, Owen's life was tragically cut short when his entrance to the ring didn't go as planned. The wrestler was supposed to zip line over the crowd to the ring, but the line broke, and Owen fell to his death. The tragedy hit the WWE and his fans hard, but his memory will always live on in the organization. The Undertaker. The Undertaker, born Mark Calloway, was undoubtedly the creepiest character on the WWE roster. He was involved in some of the biggest storylines and was terrific in the ring. The Undertaker's been wrestling for over 3 decades and has won many titles, including the WWE Championship and WrestleMania 25. The WWE superstar went 21 matches unbeaten at WrestleMania, but his streak ended at WrestleMania 30 when Brock Lesnar defeated him. The Undertaker has yet to retire and still performs in the ring today. Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock started his career as a UFC fighter and first entered the WWE ring as a special guest referee at WrestleMania 13. He was in charge of the infamous submission match between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And a few months later, Ken, as a WWE superstar, known as the most dangerous man in the world, he became King of the Ring in 1998 and won the International Championship. Ken retired from the WWE, and in 2019 the wrestler announced that he'd be starting his own bare-knuckle boxing company, Valor. Lita. Lita, born Amy Dumas, started her WWE career as a valet for the Hardy Boys. Gradually, she evolved into one of the leading WWE divas and became a successful wrestler, winning titles in the ring. Lita hung up her wrestling boots in 2006 and was missed by her fans. They missed seeing her backflips, twists of fate, and wins in the ring when she was gone. The former WWE star didn't have trouble finding work after retiring, and she worked as an analyst and was the lead singer in a punk band called the Luchagors. Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels had one of the longest-lasting careers in WWE history and performed at the top of his game for over 3 decades. The Heartbreak Kid dominated the ring in the mid-90s and was forced to step back for a few years due to recurring injuries. Shawn's in-ring career came to an end during a career-ending match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26. Shawn's been married to his wife, Rebecca, and they have 2 children.